What is up, guys? G-Man Fishing, and I just want to say thank you so much for all the help and support y'all have been giving me. We are currently getting like 2 subscribers per 2 weeks. I know it's not a lot, but it's a lot for a beginner channel, and I just want to say thank you so much for it. In the last video, I went over my rod and the cheapest rod and reel bait caster that's like durable and everything. And this is the Fish Drops bait caster from Amazon. It's $30. This is H2O Express Academy brand rod for $20, and it's like blowing me away how great this combo is. So yeah, right now I just have a little rod protector over it, and I've heard that protects your rods, so that's what I'm guessing. They were like $5 at Academy. So yeah, that's what I did last video, and so I recently got the chance. I've done my hunter's ed. I got my deer license for this season this deer season, and I've been really into hunting, guns, and all that. If y'all stick with this channel for a few more years, hopefully I'll have a few guns. But I'm 13 years old right now, and just amazed the chance that I got this past weekend. So y'all are probably like, Garrett or G-Man, what did you shoot? Like, so I went out to my Pawpaw's ranch, and I'm gonna go over the whole story because there's a huge story over this. So I went out to my Pawpaw's ranch. He owns like 89 acres, and it's a low fence ranch, so it's not a high fence, so it's still Texas Parks and Wildlife, because they don't consider high fence properties like 303 Ranch, because they're bred to be like monstrous bucks. No, this was on a low fence property. This deer could go in and out of his property if he wanted, like basically not in a big pit, just free roaming around this whole valley and stuff. So first off, I'm gonna tell you, this was an experience of itself, not just shooting the deer, gutting it, and harvesting it, but like the whole steps. So I wake up about maybe 4:30, or I went to sleep at like 9 o'clock a few nights ago to get up for this hunt, and yeah, that's pretty early on a weekend. And so as you can see, I'm still exhausted from school and everything. That hunt, getting up early, is just killing me. It's gonna kill me for like another week, but I'll be fine. So, just exhausted. So basically, I get up about 4:30, and my dad's wanting me to get up about 5 o'clock. So I'm sitting in my room. There's nothing other to do than to get dressed for my hunt. So I go downstairs, and I get all my hunting clothes on and everything, all my camo, and I wear camo out because my pawpaw doesn't want me wearing blaze orange for some reason, but that's all right. It's his property, it's his rules, whatever he wants. And my pawpaw is like an awesome person. He's got a bunch of guns. He's very safe about all this. Like, I know every safety procedure there is in the book, and he made me aware of that. And I mean, just an awesome man. I love him to death for everything that he does for me. So basically, we go to my pawpaw's house. First off, on the way there, right in front of us, like 10 feet, there was or not 10 feet, but like 20 feet in front of my dad's car, two coyotes was on the highway going down my pawpaw's. Just 2 coyotes gun it across the whole highway, and they're not, so if the highway's going this way, they're not going this way. They're running down like the exact middle, and they're going fast. I mean, don't get me wrong, they were zooming. But yeah, I'm just looking over here at my lazy dog. Let's see if, never mind. All right, so yeah, they're zooming across this highway. My dad almost hit him because it's like in the night. Well, he didn't almost hit him, but it's in the night, and it's just like crazy. And then so that's the coyote experience, and this is all happening in one day. So then I go to we go to this house, we talk a bunch, we talk and talk and talk just for about maybe 15-20 minutes, just about random stuff. And what actually I'm excited to look forward in a few years. He built me this one deer gun. It's a what is it? Bolt action deer gun. And I don't remember what caliber it is or any of it. I know it's bolt action. It has a nice scope on it, and he said that will be my gun once it's legal for me to have a gun. But yeah, so I'm pretty excited for that in a few years. But whatever, that's besides the point. That's not now. So we take the mule down the property, and I'm shooting 185 yards, not in a stand, but like in an open like tree area with like cedar all around it, and I'm shooting off this one tree. And so the deer feeder went off 7:18, and sunrise was at 7:15. So we're sitting there from like 6 o'clock and 6:30, and we're just waiting. And right before the deer feeder goes off, my dad hears rocks like going over the cliff and just like moving around a bunch, and he's like, Garrett, look, listen for this. And then so we don't hear it again, and then 15 minutes later, after the deer feeder goes off, we hear a bunch of rocks getting like kicked. Well, I start freaking out. I see a black hog with like big old tusks about 10, 15 feet in front of me. I start freaking out. I yell, Dad, there's a hog right there, like loud, where the hog could hear me. And I should have shot the hog, but I'm grateful that I did not. And y'all will hear why. But y'all will probably be like, oh, G-Man, you should have shot that hog, like when you got the chance. No. Well, my dad, when I yelled, Dad, there's a hog, I didn't yell it loud. I was like, Dad, look, there's a hog. Like in that voice, just firm. I start freaking out because I know those things will kill you in a hot minute. They're dangerous, they destroy property, and they're just bad things to have. But they serve their purpose. And so when he hears that, my dad looks over and the hog starts running away. And then like 2 minutes later, we see him, because we're in a valley. I'm shooting downhill this way, but there's uphill right here. Loud trucks, right? But y'all can probably hear that, but don't mind that, sorry. But then I look over to the right of me, and I'm like, Dad, look, there's that same hog. And just my heart's beating like 10 million miles an hour, and it's like crazy. All right, so that's that with the hog. And then so about 5 minutes later, my dad looks on the binoculars and he's like, Dad, Garrett, look, there's a deer. And then so I pull up the gun, I'm hopping on the scope, I'm like, Dad, that's a huge buck. And he's like, I can't really see his rack through the binoculars, because our limit is 13 inches and over in our county, Travis County. But so I look over, I'm like, Dad, that's a huge buck, he's way past 13, as I'm like whispering, like very quiet. I'm just talking like this just cause, but like I whisper to Dad, and then my dad, and then I always check with my dad, like I'm gonna make sure of this. I always, before I get ready, I turn the safety off, or I keep the safety on. I'm like, Dad, can I shoot him? And my dad literally said in this word, he said, let it rip. And then so I go, this buck's mine, like whispering it. My dad hears it. I turn the safety off, I pull the trigger, the gun goes click, not bang, it goes click. At this point, I'm doing whatever I can to try to shoot this deer, and it's just, the gun didn't click. There's live ammo in it, and so I have to take the safety off, and it's an AR, so it's got a little thing under the scope that you rack it back and then you let go, but it makes a lot of noise, like a lot of noise. And at 185 yards, that deer could hear it. So I drop the mag, and I'm doing whatever I can to get this live ammo out of the firing pin thingy. So, and then I finally get that out. I grab an ammo and I shove it up there somehow, and then I'm getting ready to shoot. He looks over at me as I'm pulling it back, and I'm just sitting there like this, like oh, is he gonna see me? And I'm like, wow. So then I pull it, I let it go halfway, or 3/4 way, and then I let go of it so it only made like a tiny sound, and then I hit the thing so the ammo would, the firing pin would clip onto the ammo, and then I hit the deer. And right now I'm gonna be rolling a few clips or a few pictures of that deer that I shot after I shot him. Not any videos, but after I shot him. So let's get that right now. After this, y'all just saw the pictures. After this, I am like bursting out in joy. I have an adrenaline rush, like literally my hands were shaking like this. No joke, I'm not even lying. And like, he ran off about 30 yards. So we go down there to track him. We see no blood spots and we keep looking around. We finally see a little bit of blood spots and then we keep going. I look over to my left and I'm like, Dad, there's my deer. He's wrapped up all in this tree. It's crazy. And then we get him out, we gut him, field dress him, do everything that we need. And then we took him to a place called Hunter's Creek. And when I get older, that's where I want to have my first job. So basically what they do is you just have to field dress the deer, just gut them. You don't even have to do that, but we just did it just because, well, most people do it. But we did a good job of it. And my papa was at church. I missed church. I know, I was kind of bummed, but it's all right. There's always another time. But so we take him to Hunter's Creek because we were talking with my papa after I shot him. We brought him back up the deer hill, and we were like, he said, you need to have that thing shoulder mounted. Like, it's a big deer for a Texas hill country deer. The inside spread was 23 inches. That wasn't the outside, but the inside spread was 23 inches. So it was a big deer. It was an 8-point buck. It could have stand to have a little more points. That's what everyone says. But it was a big buck. I mean, don't get me wrong. So, oh, butterfly. I get distracted so much. And it was just, so we go there and they hang him up and we got all of our meat thing figured out. The meat's still being processed right now, but we're gonna get it shoulder mounted, right? And I thought I cut up too much on the breastbone, so I stopped about right here. The dude thought we stopped about here, but we were like just fine. So I'm gonna get this big boy a chest mount or a shoulder mount. There it is. A shoulder mount. It's gonna go right on top, like right under me where I sleep. And it's just an incredible experience I had for my second hunt and my first deer, or my first buck. It was my first deer, but big buck. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. This was just like a rundown of what my first time killing a deer was. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. Since I'm recording this at the same day as I recorded my last one about my fishing pole, I will not be doing the comment of the day. But yeah, so thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Stay positive. Bye-bye.